Yes.
Please have a seat. And you see that microphone there?
Yes.
If you would try to sit close to that so
Yes.
we can hear you.
Ma'am, can you please tell the court reporter your full name and how you spell it?
Yes. My full name is Samantha Kolesnik. Should I spell my first name too? Spell my first name Samantha. Last name is Kolesnik.
I'm going to ask you if you have any trouble at any time and you need to take a moment, just let us know, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Can you tell us, without giving us an exact address, where do you live?
I live in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. And can you tell us just a town? Or rather the area? What's the big city there?
Lancaster County, near Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
And what do you do for work now?
I work full-time at a software company, a technology company.
Okay. And do you do anything on the side to earn money?
I do. I do various artistic endeavors. I write books. Sometimes I make independent films.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
Many years now. I mean, over 5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you doing that back in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And does that writing of books and work that you described, does that give you an online presence?
Yes.
Would that be how you try to sell or distribute some of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you published?
Yes.
How many books have you published?
I think 4, and then I've had short fiction published in many different books, many different anthologies.
Done any movies?
Yes, but nothing big, just little independent films.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your work has gained some traction?
Yes, I'd say a small following, nothing, I'm not like a big known person or anything like that. No.
Okay. What type of genre do you write?
Mainly horror, fiction. Some people call it like dark fiction and horror, those kinds of stories.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what is a pen name?
A pen name is, in a general sense, just a name somebody might use to write books. That's not their real name. That's not their like their legal name, on their ID.
Is that common in the author community?
Very common.
Okay. So when you were selling books, did you sell them online as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that capacity, did you have occasion to meet an individual that went by the name of Nick Stark?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury how you first became acquainted with Nick Stark?
In late September 2022, I had a public Twitter, it was then called Twitter, profile to where as an author, to where I sometimes sold books, and I had sent a public tweet saying that I was selling signed books on my website, and Nick Stark, he had I think it was the username either Nick Morfox or KJ Stark at that time in Twitter. He messaged me to let me know that he had bought 4 of my books, like all 4 that were for sale. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the first time that you met him?
Well, I didn't even meet him at that time. It was the first time that, he was directly communicating to me online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first communication, even if it wasn't a face-to-face meeting.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you said there was a Twitter named KJ Stark.
Yeah, he had several different Twitter names, so I can't be positive which it was, but it was either Nick Morfox, which I believe was his pen name, or KJ Stark. I believe it would be one of those 2.
Okay. And at that time that you first interacted with him, did you ultimately have the ability to recover those tweets and provide them to law
Yes.
enforcement? Okay. So they're here and available for you, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Did you learn whether or not he was also writing?
He told me he was a writer. I don't know to like what extent. I don't think he had been like published as of yet, or maybe he had a short story or two published. I think he was a short fiction writer primarily.
Do you know what kind of genre he wrote?
The same, to my knowledge, horror, dark fiction.
So initially, you said you met him by way of digital message online in late September of 2022.
Yes.
Did that conversation continue after you first interacted with him on the purchase of your books?
Yes.
Tell the jury how that progressed in terms of the conversation.
Yeah, well, the messages were not a whole lot at first. At first, I really didn't even understand why he felt the need to message me, because a lot of people don't message when they buy books, they just buy it. But, I said, thank you for buying my books, something to that effect. And then he just he messaged again, and he just kept messaging. And then we just started engaging in small talk, like off and on through October, but not a whole lot of messages at that time. Very light conversation, I would say, in October of 2022, and all on Twitter direct messages.
So those conversations were all online, nothing in person?
Correct.
Okay. Did that time period between September and October of 22 ever graduate to phone calls?
Not in October, to my knowledge. I think the first time we had a phone call was in November of 2022.
Okay, so at some point it progressed from text messages to the actual phone?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and when you spoke with him over the phone, do you remember, you said that was in November, you believe?
Yes,
Okay.
November 2022.
Did the relationship change from light banter at any point to something more romantic?
I think so, yeah. It became, flirtatious and more, I'd say, emotionally charged.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would that be part of what ultimately yielded phone calls?
Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
Okay. Did there come a time when you met him in person for the first time?
I met him in person for the first time December 16th, 2022.
Okay. And where did you meet him?
In Pennsylvania.
So he came to you?
That's correct.
Okay. At that point, did you know why he was in Pennsylvania?
Well, he said that he was taking a long drive for a work trip to Missouri, and then he said that he could drive from Missouri from his work trip. He said he was like working in legal compliance to Pennsylvania, and he also said that he would end up in Delaware because he was working on a big merger and acquisition, and they were having that in Delaware, which would be Delaware is very close to Pennsylvania. It's a short drive away.
Did you know where he lived at the time in December of 2022?
He said he was living in Georgia.
Okay, so it was your understanding he was going from Georgia to Missouri, and then from Missouri down to Delaware, and he'd stop by you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say stop by because it's quite out of the way. He said yes, he was driving from Georgia to Missouri because he had something for work that he had to do. And he was driving because he had his dog with him, named Rusty, just a big dog. And I'm sorry, I don't know the breed. And then he said that he would love to meet me and he would drive, since he was already on the road, from Missouri to Pennsylvania. I did push back and say, that's a big drive. I don't know. That's a lot of expectation. It feels like when somebody drives that long of a distance. And he, paraphrasing here, he basically said, I'm going to, drive out to see you. And I want to meet you. And, if you don't like me, I'll just drive back. He made it very, he persisted and, made it very, like low pressure from my point of view.
Okay. And at that point, would it be fair to say you had met him at the end of September? How long, I say met, online?
Talked online.
How long had it been since you started talking to him to when he came to your place, December 16th, approximately?
I'm not sure I understand. That was the time frame. So he started talking to me online, Twitter direct messages in September. And then the first time that I ever met him in person was December 16th.
Okay, so about 2 months roughly?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, what was your marital status?
I was separated. I'd already filed for divorce and moving from my marital home to my own home at that time. And I moved in November of 2022.
Okay. And in that time, before you met Mr. Stark, were you concerned that you had met him online?
Yes, meeting, yes, I was, and I had, even asked him, about that and said that I was concerned because I was newly single and, living basically alone. And, he had provided some documentation to me, I think, to, kind of comfort me and assure me that, he was who he said he was. He sent selfies, he sent some other documents as well, just to verify his identity. And it did comfort me that I thought he was who he said he was.
Okay. Did you ask for his driver's license?
Yes, I did.
Did he send it?
Yes.
Did you ask for something from his employment?
I did at one point, but I did not ask for that then. I asked for that later. Yep.
Did you ultimately receive both the driver's license and his employment verification, for lack of a better way to phrase that?
Yes, I received a copy of his driver's license, which said Nicholas Stark on it, like a photocopy. I received an employment verification letter from the company he said he was working at. Should I say the other things that I received
Let's
to
just stop there
verify?
for a moment.
Okay.
I'm going to approach Your Honor, if that's okay, and show the witness what I have physically marked as 1.84 and 1.86. I'm going to show them on the teleprompter after, but you will have a copy here. You'll be able to also see them on the screen.
Should I look at them?
Yes,
or-
please do.
Okay.
Do you recognize 1.84, the first document I handed you?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
This would be the employment verification letter from the company he said he was working at.
Okay. And is that a exact duplicate of the document that you received? Just a copy?
I believe so, yes.
At this time, I'd seek to tender 1.84.
No objection.
And 1.86, the next document in your hand, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
This is a photocopy of his driver's license, which says Nicholas Killian Stark on it.
Okay. And what state is that from?
Georgia.
And do you recognize that to be the document that he sent you of his driver's license?
Yes.
At this time, I'd seek to tender 1.86 as well.
Any objection? It is admitted.
You can hold those right there.
Oh,
At
okay.
this time, Your Honor, I'd like to publish 1.84.
You may.
Does that reference a company name of APIS? APIS?
Yes.
And if I scroll to the bottom here, does it indicate also when Mr. Stark began working at APIS Limited?
Yes.
And when was that?
It says February 12th, 2018.
Does it also indicate to you an email address at the very bottom where you could contact if there were questions?
Yes.
And what was the at portion of that?
apislimited.com.
I'm now going to turn your attention to the driver's license. If we can probably turn it off in between. Thank you. I'm now publishing 1.86. One moment. There you go. Is that the copy of the Georgia driver's license you received?
Yes.
And that was a a name of Nicholas Killian Stark on there, correct?
Yes.
Does it say the expiration date on that top right side?
Yes, it says June 3rd, 2030.
And was that a photograph of Mr. Stark?
Yes.
As you knew him?
Yep, yes.
Thank you.
Although I will say I don't think he had the beard when I met him, so that just that difference.
Okay.
Yep.
So he sent you those two documents at varying times, and you believe that he was Nick Stark?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Did he use any other names? I know you said he used that pen name. Was that Nick Moorfox?
Yeah, I believe he had the pen name Nick Moorfox that he published short fiction under.
Okay.
That was like his author pen name.
Do you know if he had changed his name in any other way?
No,
Those are the only two names that you knew.
that's correct. I mean, he had the other username KJ Stark, but he told me his he had two middle, like Killian James was like his full, like, yeah. So I just assumed that that was the KJ Stark,
Okay.
but no, he never told me he had another last name different than Stark.
Did you ever know the name Nicholas James Kassotis?
No.
Now, you indicated that at the time, you were in the process of a divorce. You'd already been separated. Did you know Mr. Stark's marital status?
I believed I had. He told me that he was a widower, and that he had lost his wife and his unborn child about 2 years prior, and that they had both died in a hospital.
And he told you that when?
He told me that well, he first referenced that his wife had passed away in October of 2022 in Twitter direct messages.
He told you that in October of 2022?
Yes, in on Twitter in the direct messages.
Did you subsequently determine that that was not correct? Meaning, did you find out from law enforcement that that was not the case?
Oh, I found out from law enforcement that that was not the case on the date of his arrest, and that was not until May 2023.
So when you first met KJ Stark by a tweet, that was communicated to you through a tweet?
So the tweets are like public, but we were communicating through the Twitter direct messages or like private messages, like similar to like if you were talking just like a text message, but just on Twitter.
Okay, I'm going to try and make this a little bit easier. Your Honor, I have 1.93, 1.94, 1.95, sequentially through 1.99. So 1.93 through 1.99. May I? Yes, sir. Now, I'm actually going to put these up on the screen, if I may, Your Honor, so I'll seek to tender them first. I'm going to hand you exhibits 1.93 through 1.99. Can you just take a look at them and tell us if you recognize them?
I do.
Are those a fair and accurate depiction of what you provided to law enforcement in conjunction with this case?
Yes. I believe I provided more than this too, but yes, these I did provide. Mhm.
Okay. And are those just exact duplicates of what you've turned over, just not in color?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I seek to introduce 1.93 through 1.99.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, they're all admitted. It's a total of 7 exhibits, but they are admitted without objection.
I'm now going to open and publish Exhibit 1.93, Slide 1. Would it be fair to say that that's what you have in front of you is 1.93?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to scroll in here. Can you see the name of the tweet that was sent from to you?
Yes, it's KJ Stark.
Okay. And is that what you were referring to earlier when you referenced late September first speaking with Mr. Stark?
That's correct.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that here you have sort of an announcement on the public page about you selling the books?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And as a result, is that why or when you received rather the response from Mr. Stark concerning the purchase of the books that you were selling?
Yeah, so what he's done here is he took like my public tweet and he kind of like quote tweeted in a message and then wrote his message beneath it. Yep.
Would that be the message that he sent to you?
Yes.
And when was that sent?
September 24th, 2022.
And in that post that he sent to you, did he offer to communicate with you?
Yes, he did.
And if you look at the top of this post, was he aware that you were going through a divorce at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And as a result, did you respond?
Yes, I did.
And you indicated earlier that that's not common. Is that correct?
It does happen sometimes. Sometimes people want to let you know they're buying your books, but it is not the majority of cases. No, I wouldn't say it's common.
Okay. So I'm now going to go to number 7. That would be 1.94. Just so we're clear, the gray writing and the pink writing that is displayed on the screen, who is the gray writing?
The gray writing is Nick.
And the pink?
That's me.
Okay. And just if we could look specifically at this first paragraph.
Yes.
Does he reference there specifically about losing his wife?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so if I were to read the line, in the last 3 years, I moved a couple times, learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true, and had my wife pass away. Is this what you were referring to?
Yes.
And when was this ultimately received by you?
October 18th, 2022.
And at that time, did you believe his wife was dead?
Yes.
Did he subsequently tell you that his wife also had been pregnant at the time she passed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did he indicate at any time that he was in any other relationship or just that that one had expired? Meaning the relationship had ended, that she had passed?
He never indicated that he was in any kind of relationship with any kind of. Is Nick.
And the just so we're clear, the gray writing and the pink writing that is displayed on the screen, who is the gray writing?
The gray writing is Nick.
And
They're buying your book. They're buying your books, but it is not the majority of cases now.
go to number 7, that would be 1.94. Just so we're clear, the gray writing and the
I'm here. I'm here. I'm just trying to get exactly where I need to start at and who I'm reading for. Okay. Okay. So the gray is Nick. So I think I got it at the beginning, y'all. Okay. So he says, I hope the move goes well. I know moving, especially in the context of other life. What? Evil? I don't even know what that's talking about. Okay. It sometimes just feels overwhelming and stressful. I think moving feels like that always, but add in other stuff and it's even worse. In the last 3 years, I moved a couple times, learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true. And I had my wife pass away. None of this is tried to compare. I don't do that. It's just to say, I probably know some through certainty, not all, of the feelings that you're dealing with right now. And if there is ever anything you need or want to talk about, the door is open. I neither mean to pry nor suggest there aren't 100 people in your life better suited. Just here if I can help. Feeling like you're working 24/7 is tough, and I wish I had an answer. I think it's even harder since I started working remotely, which I love on one hand, but on the other hand, it blurs the work sometimes. Personal timeline so much. Plus, always having something could be working on makes it hard to relax. I don't know what he's talking about. I have not figured out the answer. If you do, please share. I don't know what he's talking about. Y'all know what he's talking about? Because I don't know what he's talking about. Let me see what she say.
pink writing that is displayed on the screen. Who is the gray writing?
The gray.
Hope your week is going well. Fall weather arrived in Georgia overnight, and hopefully it is here to stay. Rusty and I had a delightful walk this morning. Made me feel alive. Hope your week has started well and you're feeling accomplished. Okay, that's his
Writing is Nick.
And the pink?
That's me.
Here's her,
Okay.
her message.
And just
Okay.
if we could look specifically at this first paragraph.
Yes.
Does he reference there specifically about losing his wife?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so if I were to read the line, in the last 3 years, I moved a couple times, learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true, and had my wife pass away. Is this what you were referring to?
Yes.
And when was this ultimately received by you?
October 18th, 2022.
And at that time, did you believe his wife was dead?
Yes.
Did he subsequently?
Hey, Nick, type it from my phone as I'm already in the bed. So I fear this may be another super long paragraph. I'm so sorry to hear about your wife. May I ask what happened? If you don't want to talk about it, that's also totally understandable. You're right. That moving is so stressful. It sounds like you're done a lot of that lately. Do you think you'll stay in Georgia? I take it Rusty is your dog. I haven't had a dog in years and very much miss it. My last dog was Charlie, a little cane terrier. You were right about the deadline up for my screenplay, but I had to get an extension. I've had an extremely rough week, and the stress of everything had me a bit, I don't know what that means, out this past weekend. I've bounced back, and hopefully I can finish my screenplay soon. Regardless,
Currently tell you that his wife also had been pregnant at the time she passed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did he indicate at any time that he was in any other relationship, or just that that one had expired? Meaning the relationship had ended, that she had passed?
He never indicated that he was in any kind of relationship with any kind of romantic relationship with anybody.
Did you know if he had another wife that preceded the wife you just referenced?
No.
Okay. So at that time, you thought that the only time he had been married was to the woman he described on October 18th?
Yes.
Did he say how she died initially?
Yes, he
I'm trying to see if they're gonna show some more text messages so I can pause it. But just so y'all aware what they were saying in that text message, after he had told her that his wife had passed away, she came back in her text message saying that she was sorry to hear about his wife passing away. She even asked, hey, if you don't mind, if you want to share with me what happened. And she also notified him if he did not want to share, that's okay. She totally understands. And then she got to kind of mentioning about the dog. Like at this point in time, she's just questioning, I assume Rusty is your dog. I haven't had a dog in a while. The last dog that she had was some type of terrier. So
said that she died in a hospital and that blood pressure complications and possibly an undiagnosed heart condition as well.
I'm now showing you the next slide. That would be 1.95. Can you read us that paragraph starting she had?
So this is, just so y'all know, this is all in October, right? Mindi we assumed that the timeline that we're thinking about that she was unalive was at the end of November, right? So from what I can read right here, it says, this is him back to her. You've bounced back so quick, bounce back, and I'm sure you'll knock it out quickly. She had undiagnosed heart issue that was aggravated by her pregnancy. Very sudden change in the way I thought life would look, but I'm doing my best now to figure it out. Cairn Terriers are so cute. I just looked one of them up. Charlie must have been a cool little guy. I hope not to stay in Georgia for all that long. Nothing against it. It's just not for me. I'm not really a city guy, but haven't really found a place outside of the city that felt right. Thinking about options, I'd love to make a move and be more settled, so not rushing it. Emoji. Have considered going back to Central VA, Charlottesville area, which I love when I lived there, or even upstate New York, or maybe back to New England. Been taking long weekends there.
An undiagnosed heart issue that was aggravated by her pregnancy, very sudden change in the way I thought life would look, but doing my best now to figure it out.
Yeah.
So he told you that in this tweet?
In this private message, yeah, on Twitter.
What day did he?
Okay. long weekends here and there to go to different spots to compare, not in a rush, so I can get it right. Ruled out a couple so far, but haven't landed on the right spot. Are you from wherever you are? Oh, this is so hard to read sometimes. Do you like it? I'm realizing I have zero idea where that is. I think I'll stay on the East Coast. Feels like home. But I have also considered going back to Europe. Oh, though I've got a weird immigration thing in the UK that might could make it much easier or much harder for me to do. So getting that resolved would be nice. I hope your weekend is off to a great start and you've managed to squeeze in some fun. I'm sure you got a lot on your plate, but I hope it's all that's on your plate. I hope that's not all that's on your plate. Have a wonderful day. She loves it. Also, The Watcher was a little let down. I thought, I don't know what the heck. Oh, he must have watched the movie The Watcher. I think I know that movie. Film Freak. That's a movie, right? My film man.
Did he tell you that?
October 22nd, 2022.
Did you know that his current wife was alive on that date at that time?
No.
And he described it as a very sudden change. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Did he mention if they had children? Other than that she was pregnant when she passed?
No other children, just that she was pregnant and that that she lost he lost both her and the unborn child is what he told me, and that he had no other children now.
Okay. Did him telling you that his wife had passed impact your trust of Mr. Stark?
It definitely impacted me. It made me feel very sad and bad for him, because that's a terrible thing that could happen to somebody, to lose your wife and unborn child. That's how I felt at the time. I felt bad for him.
Okay. Did you convey that to him?
Yes, I felt empathy.
Oh gosh, she is so hurt. This is so terrible. This guy, I could feel her hurt. Like, most women, we wait for the guy that we can meet and marry, and we done vetted him and we think that he's going to take care of us, and we look at him as our security net, security, that they our safety net, our protector, our provider. And she thought all these things, and now she has to be up here testifying to all the gruesome ways that he deceived her and the things that he did to his wife at the time while being involved with her. Like, it is it's heartbreaking. I hope she can make it through her testimony, but I see right now it is coming, because she is like, like, you wait all this time for this, right? To trust and be vulnerable. And this what you get? Wow. Yeah, because he was claiming his wife was unalive before anything happened. So he was like premeditating, planning this stuff. And I'm assuming just to get to the next wife. Right. It's heartbreaking, especially when, as a woman, you. All right, guys.
Because that's what I I thought he had lost his wife and unborn child.
Did that also facilitate you continuing to chat with him?
I did continue to chat with him, yes.
And did that then
Sorry.
progress to that more flirtatious and romantic stage that you described for the jury?
I would say more like emotional at first because I had lost somebody close to me too, I thought too at the time. So more emotional and then eventually flirtatious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, you said in December, he came to visit you. You had just moved, is that right?
I had moved in November. Yep, that's correct.
Okay,
So just like about a month prior.
okay. And when he came to visit, did he stay with you in December of 2022?
No.
Why not?
Well, for one, I wouldn't have somebody stay with me just meeting them. And then two, he had Rusty, his dog, with him, and my house, I rent, and they don't allow pets.
Okay.
They don't allow like any pets in the place.
Okay. And so do you know where he was staying when he came in December?
When he came in December, I believed he was at an Airbnb in
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Well, was your understanding, if I'm correct, that he was going to Missouri,
Mhm.
he was going to visit you, and then he was going to Delaware? Is that right?
I think he was going to go back to Georgia first because that was his home, but he did tell me he would have to live for several months
Mhm.
in Delaware because that's where he'd be working for the merger acquisition that he was the point person on. That was my understanding.
Okay. Did he move to Delaware, as far as you know?
I thought, yeah, that his company was putting him up in Delaware.
Okay.
Not that he had moved there, but that his company was providing like long-term housing while he worked on this merger and acquisition.
Did you know if he had moved to Pennsylvania at some point after his Delaware trip?
I don't think he ever permanently moved to Pennsylvania. He stayed at Airbnbs in
Okay.
Pennsylvania when he was visiting me.
Let me be more clear.
Okay.
Was he staying in Pennsylvania in some location at some point while the time period from December forward in 2022?
From December forward, to my knowledge, I mean, he was spending the work time in Delaware, and then he would spend some weekends in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
like when he wasn't working in Delaware.
Okay. So as far as you knew, he was commuting basically from Delaware and staying back at the Airbnb in Pennsylvania.
Yes, that was my understanding.
Okay. And when that was occurring, would it be fair to say what months?
I met him in December. It would have been, the last half of December,
Okay.
January, February, March, April of 2023, and then that first half or so of May 2023 until the day he was arrested.
Okay. So during all that time, you weren't living together.
No, we were not. We never moved in together. We did stay at the same Airbnb, some Airbnbs that he
Okay.
rented together.
Okay. And at that point, you said that the relationship grew and it became a romantic relationship, correct?
Yes.
Did there come a time when he described to you the process of moving and what had happened with his belongings?
Yes, he told it like an anecdote in Twitter direct messages, I believe, about how he had moved previously and some of his things I think were water damaged in a moving pod, like a storage pod.
Okay, I'm now going to turn to 1.96. Would it be fair to say that sometime in early November you were talking about your move with him?
Yes.
Okay, and that's when he made the quip about his belongings?
Yes.
So I'm directing your attention to exhibit 1.96, the paragraph that states, I highly recommend putting 85% of your belongings in a pod for a year that is defective and not actually watertight if you want help downsizing. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes.
And as a result of that, did you believe that he just didn't have a lot of things?
I believed that some of his things had been damaged. I don't know that I had a real like image of how many things he had at that point.
Okay.
But that he had lost things. Yeah.
Quite a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, those conversations and those tweets at the time, would it be fair to say that they were pretty innocuous? You didn't think very much about any of it other than just banter?
Yeah, I'd say from that first message in September through October, and you can even notice in October, sometimes there's gaps in days to where like before I would respond. And probably even the first part of November, yeah, it felt very, very light. And then it picked up frequency, and I'd say emotional like resonance. Yeah.
Okay. And at some point, did he talk to you about his work and moving and things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to direct you to slide number 20. That for you would be 1.97. Would it be fair to that some of these got very personal?
I don't know why they not reading these to us, but whatever. Here we go. I'm gonna try my best. And I do mean try my best. I wish I could figure out how to zoom in on my screen. Okay, it says very, very bad abusive upbringing, which switched to a lot of emotional abuse and control as I was left home. Okay, so let me start back up. It says, oh gosh, I will give you the very abbreviated version. So I guess he's talking about his upbringing and stuff when we talking about this text message. So it says very, very bad abusive upbringing, which switched to a lot of emotional abuse and control as I left home. Little brother was a golden child. I could do nothing right ever. I finally started therapy and setting some healthy boundaries, and they reacted extremely bad. At around the same time, what I thought were bank errors turned into a very extensive identity theft issues, which were traced back to my brother. When law enforcement got involved, things got very scary for a while in some very bad ways, which triggered two moves and is the reason why my mail still goes to Florida before coming to me. A little over 2 years ago, documents got turned up that caused me to ask if there was a chance I wasn't biologically related to these people. I thought they were my parents, and I said no. And then I thought about it, and a lot of things suddenly made sense. So there was a whole thing, and I took a DNA test and waited months. I am not at all related to these people who raised me. Like, what the heck? Which has raised a trillion questions, but gave me the opportunity to identify my actual parents. And what has now been the silver lining, and I can see through everything of all of this, it's still messy. And the wheels of justice continue to turn very, very slowly. But I'm treating it as a bonus. I have very loving parents.
Yes.
Can you tell us?
Gosh, you talk about some gaslight. Like he telling her all of this stuff. Oh my goodness. Like all this crap to make her feel sorry for him, empathy for him. Oh, now he was placed with his family. His brother then stole his identity. Like, yeah, he said his parents wasn't even his parents. Now he explaining why his mail goes to Florida before it goes to Georgia. Like, can you smell BS?
What he told you about his upbringing?
He told me that he had a very horrible upbringing, that he was abused. Should I tell you just what's on this, or what he told me in general?
I'm just referring to
just this, that he had a bad abusive upbringing, and that he found out late in life, like as an adult, that he had been adopted, and that his parents, who he thought were his parents, were not his actual, like, biological parents.
Did you believe that?
Yes.
Now, in the weeks coming up to him visiting you in December, were there communications?
Yes.
I'm going to turn your attention to slide exhibit 1.98.
Mm-hmm.
This is slide 22. Do you see where he references in the second paragraph, I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. Did he indicate to you exactly where he planned on going? You can read that to us if that makes it easier.
Let's see. He said, I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. I'll still be working, but like to have a little built-in cushion on projects when dealing with the vagaries of Wi-Fi on the road. Going to spend this weekend in Virginia, then New York, then on to New England until after Thanksgiving. So hopefully going to spend a little time poking around and seeing how a few spots feel in terms of life there. Seems like a better use of my time than the 45 Zillow emails I wake up to every morning.
So it was your understanding that in the weeks leading up to this email or text on November 8th that he was traveling?
That is correct. And this would have been far before the Missouri trip, he told me. And he told me, I don't know about like what he was doing in these places, but he did say that he met with one of his his biological father's lawyers during this time, I think was something he said in terms of that trip.
So at this point, you didn't have any reason to believe that he was homebound and couldn't leave his residence, right?
No.
I'm turning your attention to slide number 1.99. Would it be fair to say that this is also in November?
Yes.
Okay. And these were all leading up to the time period when he was coming to visit you? Or, well, I should say, when you were developing a relationship?
Yes. At this time, he had never, we were not even talking about, we had not talked about a visit that I can remember.
Okay.
That didn't come up till December.
Okay. So on November 10th, that last paragraph, can you read that for us?
Tomorrow, so I had asked, when do you leave in the previous message? And he says, tomorrow afternoon, going to get on the road a little early and hopefully miss the traffic. I always say that I'm going to sit down and come up with a list of things I need to pack and just save it so I can print it out every time and have the basic things figured, but I never have managed.
So as far as you knew, on November 10th, he told you he was going to be going on a road trip November 11th of 2022.
Yes, that's correct.
And still at that point, he never told you that he was unable to leave his residence, correct?
No, he never said he was unable to leave any residence.
Okay. Now, during your relationship, you indicated that at some point you shifted to some phone communication. Is that
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever use something called Signal app?
We did not use the Signal app to
Okay.
communicate.
Okay. Are you familiar with it?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you didn't use that?
We didn't use it to communicate, no. And I didn't use it at that time, no.
What about Proton email?
I knew he used Proton email because I think I saw it on some of the emails. I did not use Proton email. I had actually not, I didn't even know about Proton email until I saw it like in one of his emails, like I can't remember what you call that, the @.com. Yeah.
Okay. But he didn't require you to use that with him?
No.
Can you tell the jury, in late November, when you and he had just started talking, did anything happen to your vehicle?
Yes.
Tell the jury what happened.
I had a flat tire on my
Okay.
car in November.
Okay. And did that prove to be problematic in any way?
I mean, just as problematic as a flat tire, would be to anyone. I was, moving, and then it definitely was like a hassle, yeah.
Timing not so convenient?
Yeah, and I'm very bad with cars, so
Okay.
car trouble stresses me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Stark offer to assist in any way?
He did.
What did he do?
He offered, and keep in mind, we had never met, and he offered like via messages, because we were talking on WhatsApp at that time. He offered to fix the flat. He had said that he could have my car towed to a repair shop and have the flat tire fixed.
And did he do that for you?
He did, and I was very surprised.
Okay.
Yes.
At that point, I believe your first communication was October 18th of 2022. Be fair to say that that was some approximately to 4 weeks later?
Our first communication was September
My apologies.
2022.
Mhm.
And then I'm sorry, what was the second half of that?
How long had you known him before he had your tire fixed?
I mean, I wouldn't even say that I knew him at that time. I'd been messaging him online for, it would have been a month and a half to 2 months, somewhere in that range.
What did
Yeah.
he have done for your car?
Okay, so he told me he was only going to fix the flat tire at the repair shop. When I got to the repair shop, my friend took me to pick up my car, I was very surprised because the clerk at the repair shop, he said that Nick had paid for 4 new tires and 2 new bulbs on the front headlights. I'm not 100% certain that's what it was called, but he did some kind of repair or something to the front headlights. I think it was new bulbs. Yeah.
Did you determine how much that cost?
It was a big bill. I mean, what I would consider big. It was like, I think it was $600 and something in that range. Yeah.
Was that concerning to you?
Yes.
What did you do as a result?
I felt a mix of feelings. I felt grateful as you do when somebody does something kind for you, but it also felt like a lot. And it already felt like a lot just to have somebody fix your my tire for me. And then the surprise of that it was 4 new tires and then like a bulb change or something. It was just a lot. It was a lot to the point that the clerk at the car shop, he said something like, "Is that your husband or is that your boyfriend? He is so nice." And I said, "No." I said, "He's just an acquaintance, Yeah.
Did you have a conversation with him about that? Boundaries?
I first talked to some friends about it just to get their opinion because it was such a big gift.
Mhm.
And then I did talk to him and I said that was too much. That was a lot. You said it was going to be 1 tire, then you did 4. That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in response to that conversation, well, let me be clear. Do you remember when you had that problem with your tire?
It was November of 2022. I do not remember the exact date.
Okay. Was it beginning of November, end of November, if you recall?
I think it was the last half of November of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after you had the conversation with him about boundaries and too much, what did he do?
He had this sort of like, he apologized, he kind of played it off, and he said this endearing thing kind of to where he's just like, "I'm so sorry, you're right. that was an odd gift. Most guys, I've just been he said something like, I've been out of practice for a while, and here I am, like, thinking that he's been, grieving for 2 years. And he's, I've just been out of practice, I haven't dated. He's like, I just wanted to do something nice for you. He's like, but yeah, you're right. Tires. He's like, come on, like, what guy gives a girl tires? He's like, it should have been flowers, right? Or something. And I said, yeah, flowers would have been more appropriate, than the 40 tires. And then it kind of became like a little, it's like that conversation changed it from something that felt alarming at first to something that felt like, oh, okay, like he hasn't been dating for a while and he went overboard, you know what I mean? He must like me, and he went a little overboard in showing that. And it then became a little bit of an in joke throughout our relationship. He'd be like, oh, the tires. Yeah. Like, what kind of guy gives a girl he's dating tires? That was so stupid of me, like that kind of thing he used to say. Yeah.
Did he subsequently give you flowers the following week?
Yes. About a week later, he had a very nice bouquet of flowers, like hand delivered to me, my house, for like, yeah.
Was that still in late November?
I believe so. If it wasn't late November, then it would have been probably the first week in December, but I think it was about a week after that, the tire repair. Yeah.
At some point, did you and Mr. Stark get engaged?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall when that was?
It was April, or no, I'm sorry, we got engaged. The reason I said April, we got married in April. We got engaged in February of 2023.
Do you remember the date?
I don't.
Okay.
I want to forget the date. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's February.
Okay. So at some point in February of 2023, you get engaged. And then did you ultimately apply to get married?
Yes.
Can you tell us, prior to getting married, did you have to fill out paperwork for that?
Yes, he filled out the paperwork. And I think it was an online application.
Okay. And as a result, at this time, I'm going to show her 1.92. Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
What is that?
This is the marriage license application that was submitted for our marriage.
Okay. And do you recognize that to be just a photocopy of the original?
Yes.
At this time, I would seek to introduce I believe, is that 9.2?
No objection.
It's admitted.
Can we please publish that? Thank you. And does that reference your names at the top of that?
Yes.
And was it required to indicate how many marriages this was for you?
Yes.
And does it indicate how many it was for Mr. Stark?
Yes.
And what was that?
He wrote that it was his second.
Did he indicate how his last marriage ended?
Yes.
And how was that?
Death,
And did he give a date of her death?
December 1st, 2020.
And this was issued when?
April 13th, 2023.
Did it reference the names of his parents?
Yes, this is who he said were his biological parents. Edward Williams as his father, living in the UK, and Susan Fox, living in California, as his mother.
Did you understand that to be who he claimed were which parents, the adopted or the biological?
Biological parents that he had connected with and found out, later in life, yeah, as an adult. That's who I thought they were.
Does this also reflect the date that it was initially filed?
Yes, April 10th, 2023.
And did both you and Mr. Stark have to sign that document?
Yes.
And did you?
Yes.
Those are both of your signatures?
Yes.
Okay. And that, of course, is your name also at the top, correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, did you subsequently actually get married?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that was also sometime in April?
Yes, that was in April, 2023, I believe, late April.
Okay. And prior to getting married, did you and Mr. Stark discuss your living arrangements? What
Yes.
you were going to do after you got married?
Yes.
Okay. What was the plan?
He was going to move to PA and he wanted to buy a house. And then he said that we would both live in that house together. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And as a result of that, who was going to pay for the house?
Nick Stark.
Okay. Did he indicate to you whether he was financially in a position to be able to afford the house without your assistance?
Yeah, that over time, but yes, yes, he said he was able to do that.
Okay, so he was going to be the one buying it.
Correct.
Okay. Was he responsible then for the arrangements for the finances?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell the jury, did you in fact start looking for houses together?
Yes,
Did you find any?
we did. At first, we were looking at houses for him because he said he was going to move to PA. And so it was just a house for him. And then as our relationship progressed, we started looking together. And we did. We found several that we liked, and then we landed on one, so to speak, or chose one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that ultimately result in an offer, acceptance, and a closing?
It resulted in an offer. He made an offer. I believe the offer was accepted. And if I'm thinking about it, it's because I'm not like real estate. I've never bought a house before. And I think he had put like a deposit or whatever, earnest money, whatever it's called in real estate. Yeah.
Okay. And was there an actual closing date scheduled?
Yes.
Okay. So do you know when that was?
Yes.
When was that?
March 20th, 2023.
And why do you remember that date specifically?
It was a traumatic day.
What happened?
We were supposed to close that day. And in the morning, I was still in bed. We were staying together at an Airbnb in Pennsylvania. I was still in bed, and he woke me up, and he said he looked like he had already been up for a bit, totally dressed, and he said that he was going to go run some errands and pick up the check for the closing, the cashier's check, and that he would be back before closing.
Do you remember when the closing was supposed to be?
I think it was around noon, but I'm not positive. I don't remember the exact hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometime during the day?
Yep. Sometime during the day.
Okay.
Yes.
And he left to go get the check.
Yes.
Was he supposed to come back to the house?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Okay.
Before closing. Yeah.
Did he have a car at that time?
Yes.
Do you know what type of car it was?
I believe it was, I could definitely recognize it if I saw it. I believe it was a Ford. It was kind of like an SUV, a larger SUV. I want to say it was a Ford Explorer.
Okay.
And I believe it was green.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, he left to go pick up the check
Yes.
and was supposed to come home?
Yes.
Did he come home in timely fashion?
No.
What happened?
He wasn't home when I thought, he probably should have been. Like, it was getting closer and closer to the closing time. And so I started texting him like on WhatsApp, like, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because it felt unusual. And then I started calling him and I wasn't getting through to him. It was either going like right to voicemail or just like clicking off. The connection was clicking off. And then I got a very alarming text message from him.
Okay.
And it said, or WhatsApp message, same thing. It said, my car buddy, because I think autocorrect, I just remember this text. It said, my car buddy into flames. And of course, like reading that message, I'm like, buddy first, like the autocorrect. And I was just, that's such a strange message to ever receive. But so then I'm like calling him frantically and I didn't get through to him. I got through to, or I might have gotten through to him for a second, and then he like handed the phone off. But then I talked to a paramedic or an EMT, some kind of like medical professional.
That was at the scene with him?
Yes, correct.
Okay. At that point, you said that he had been on his way to the bank. Is that right?
That's what he told. He said he had to run like some errands and also pick up the cashier's check or registered check from the bank, from Citizens Bank. Yep.
Did you know how much the check was for?
I do not remember the exact amount, but I can tell you it was something like, it was a large amount. It was $800,000, I want to say, or 850. It was a very large amount of money. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So is your understanding that he was picking up the check and that he had been involved in a car fire of some sort?
Car accident is what I was thinking at
You
that
thought
time.
car accident, okay.
You know, because even reading I was like, I couldn't really fathom what had actually happened, you know?
Right.
But yes, some kind of car incident.
Did you know if the car was new?
I think it was pretty new. I don't think it was an old car.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, did he go to the hospital?
So that's something I asked the EMT or the paramedic, and I said, is he going to the hospital? Like, you know, like what hospital can I meet him at? Those kinds of things. And she said, he doesn't want to go to the hospital. And I said, but are you like, should he? Is he okay? You know, like I was asking like those kind of caring, concern questions. And I still didn't really grasp. I didn't grasp what had happened to the car or how like severe it was, because I remember asking the paramedic or the EMT, I said, can you make sure, you know, he gets all of his things out of the car? And she kind of, I don't want to say chuckled. It wasn't like she was amused, but she was just like, I can try, but I don't think there's anything left in that car. And hearing that, I still was like a little bit confused. You know, I didn't understand the scope. And then, you know, I asked, you know, are you sure he's okay to not go to the hospital? And she said, well, he doesn't want to go. Like, we can't, you know, yeah, he just wants to go back to you or whatever, or home, you know.
When he got home, did you take him to the hospital?
Yes, I insisted on taking him to the hospital. I was concerned about him.
Why?
Well, when he walked through the door of the Airbnb, he was like crying a little. He was shaking. He had some he looked a little burned, like on his face, like he was missing, I want to say like half an eyebrow. Like
Okay.
he had, yeah.
Okay. As a result, I'm going to show you 1.91. Do you recognize what's depicted in this photograph?
Yes.
What is that?
That would be his medical bracelet, like the bracelets they put on you at hospitals, and that was from his when I took him to the hospital.
Okay. And at this time, Your Honor, I would like to introduce that exhibit 1.91, I believe.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted without objection.
I'm going to publish it. Did that reflect the admission date on it right there?
Yes, yes, March 20th, 2023. Yep.
Thank you. That was the day of the closing as well?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And at that point, do you know what happened with respect to the car? In terms of the insurance? How did that go?
I still don't. Oh, you mean like the insurance? I don't know. I still don't know what happened really. We went to the hospital, and then I had asked him, did you call insurance? And he said no. And I'm thinking he's in shock. And so I, you know, encouraged him to do so. I said, well, you should report that, you know, to your insurance company that you had an accident or a fire or whatever it was. And so I believe he did that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But initially it was your impression that he had not.
Correct. He was acting, I thought he was in shock because he wasn't doing the things that I had always been told to do if you have a car accident. And that was strange for him because he was usually such a intelligent, put together person. Like it just seemed just seemed odd, like photos. I had asked him like a day or two after the fire, I said, did you take any photos of your car? You know, the damage. And he said, no. And he said, do you think I should? And I said, I remember specifically saying this to him. I said, Nick, I said, you're a lawyer. I said, what would you advise a client to do? And he said, oh yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. I'll go take photos. And so then he went and took photos, and it was the photos that he showed me that I finally realized the extent of the damage to this car. And I was horrified.
Did you see the photographs yourself?
Yes.
How bad was the car?
As bad as you could possibly imagine. Like, yeah, like there was nothing, like it was just a frame, it looked like, of the car left, like a metal frame.
There was nothing left of the car. But
Yes,
the frame.
and then it made sense with the paramedic, her reaction, you know, when I had asked to get his things out of the car.
After the
Yeah.
incident with the car, did you follow through? Because that happened, you said March 20th of 23.
Yes,
Did you follow through with your plans to get married?
yes,
Okay. And that's when we showed you the marriage license, is that correct? Or the application?
yep, yes.
Okay. Did you know a woman by the name of Heather Thomas? Had he ever mentioned a
No.
woman by that name?
He mentioned he had a girlfriend named Heather. He said it was just a girlfriend. He said she had wanted to marry him and he did not want to, and they broke up, and that it was a messy breakup. That's what he had said.
Never told you that was his wife?
No, no,
Never told you that he had divorced her?
no,
Did you know if he owed her any money?
no. He told me he was debt free. He told me he owed nobody nothing.
He said he didn't know anything.
That's correct. He said he was completely debt free.
During your relationship with him, did you discuss having children, the two of you?
Yes,
Did that seem important to him?
very much so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at that point, did you make any arrangements to try and get pregnant?
Yes, around the time we got married. Yep.
Can you tell the jury what you did?
I went to a preconception appointment at my with a certified midwife at my OB office. Yep.
Okay. So that was right around what point in time? Can you
Right
tell?
around the date of our marriage. Yep.
Okay. So that was right away.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, you've testified that you had no idea that Mr. Kassotis had a first wife, no less a second wife, correct?
That's correct.
And
Or that he didn't have. I testified that he didn't have. What do you mean by that?
let me clarify that. It was your testimony that you didn't know that his wife was alive when he
Oh
first met
no,
you.
yeah, no, I did not know that.
And at
Yeah.
this point, you didn't know either that there was potentially a first wife named Heather Thomas.
Right, that's what I thought you were. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know he had a wife before.
Okay. Can you tell us how you came to learn of those things?
I came to learn of those things through agent over the course of several conversations with Agent Tracy Sands of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation after Nick was arrested.
Do you see Agent Sands here today?
I do.
Can you point him out for us?
He's right there next to you. Yep, in the middle. Yeah.
The record can so reflect, Your Honor. And can you tell us, how did it make you feel learning that he had not only the first wife who had passed, but the second wife from before her?
I don't think words will ever capture how I felt, but I felt if I had to choose some words, I'd say horrified, shocked, traumatized, violated, deceived.
What did you do?
In the days that followed his arrest, I contacted Agent Sands multiple times. Tried to, after learning that, I tried to be as helpful as I could be. because I was horrified. And so in the days that followed, I took pictures of all the belongings that he had in the Airbnb and sent the photos to Agent Sands and asked if they needed anything of his belongings. And they requested some of those, and I had them shipped to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. And then I also, like his laptops, his phones, and when I say laptops and phones, because he had one for work, one for personal. And then I also started looking messages, emails, anything that I thought the Georgia Bureau of Investigation might want to see. It was just, I was still in shock, but I knew that I wanted to be helpful because what I was hearing was so horrifying and I had no idea. And so I was trying to be as helpful in those immediate days as I could be.
What did you do about your marriage?
I wanted it annulled because I felt like the marriage and everything in the marriage was not consensual because of his fraud, and I wanted it annulled. And annulment in Pennsylvania is very difficult. It's very, very rigid about the requirements to get an annulment. It has to be fraud or like some very specific other things. So it was very hard to get a lawyer who would actually even pursue it, but I did get one, and we went to, we filed for an annulment and a divorce at the same time in case the annulment wouldn't go through. There are not a lot of annulments in Pennsylvania, to my understanding. And then I had to wait several months before we could go to a hearing, and we went to a hearing at a court of common pleas in Pennsylvania. And
did you get an annulment?
And the judge, yes, the judge in Pennsylvania granted my annulment on the basis of his fraud. And so that was that's very rare in Pennsylvania that they do that. So the marriage was declared null and void because he committed fraud against me.
Do you know whatever happened to the house that you were supposed to buy?
I have no idea.
Did you ever buy it?
No.
Did you ever move into a house that he purchased?
No.
Did you ever see that check that was supposed to be picked up?
No, he said the check burned in the car fire. The cashier's check. Yeah.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Weinstein, cross-examination.
Good morning, Ms. Kolesnik. I'm Doug Weinstein. I represent Nick Kassotis. I just have a question for you about the down payment on the home. Do you recall Nick Kassotis putting a $50,000 down payment on that house?
He said he did, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. You're excused.